So first, we will today discuss residential status of an individual under Income Tax Act 1961. The four situations which can arise in a given situation. Illustration. Suppose a question illustration is given, there can be four situations. Okay, situation one or situation two or situation three or situation four. So based on this situation, our answer will depend upon this situation. Okay. Now I have drafted this four situation. Just we have to give the answer in this column. So what are that situation? First we will understand one by one. In first situation, there can be that one basic condition is satisfied and one additional condition is getting satisfied. Okay, based on the details given, one basic condition is getting satisfied and one additional condition is getting satisfied. This can be one situation. And second situation may be one basic condition is getting satisfied and both additional conditions are getting satisfied. This can be another situation. And third situation can be one basic condition is getting satisfied and none of the additional condition is getting satisfied. Okay, and fourth situation can be none of the basic condition is also not satisfied. Okay, neither condition number one or condition number two is getting satisfied. So these four situations can arise in a given illustration or a given practical situation. So based on this, we will have to answer a residential status of an individual. Okay, everybody understood these four situations. So we will try to answer one by one situation in this column. So everybody can also try give your answer in the message box. Then we will discuss one by one. So first situation we are taking for discussion. First situation is the says that one basic condition is getting satisfied and one additional condition is getting satisfied. So what will be the residential status of that individual for the previous year? Understanding no? One basic condition is satisfied and one additional condition is getting satisfied. So what will be that individual's residential status for the relevant previous year? Okay, yeah. Okay, so now let us try to discuss this first situation. One basic condition is getting satisfied means obviously you should know that individual will be a resident in India. Okay, one basic condition is satisfied means at least he will be a resident in India. Now, this situation says that one additional condition is also satisfied. So one additional condition is satisfied, it is not enough. No? We know that both additional conditions should be satisfied. So this situation will be resident. Individual will be a resident, but he is not ordinary resident. Ordinary resident in India. Clear. One basic condition is satisfied, so he will be definitely be resident. But is ordinary or not ordinary? For that, we will have to check the additional condition. Here, the situation says that only one additional condition is getting satisfied. So he will be not ordinary. Okay. Now come to the situation number two. What is situation number two say? One basic condition is satisfied and both additional conditions are satisfied. Okay. So this is a simple case. One basic condition is satisfied means he is a resident definitely. And here both additional conditions are also satisfied. So he will be resident and ordinarily resident. Okay, the illustration which we have discussed in the last class, no, this was a case of this situation. One basic condition is also getting satisfied and both additional conditions are also satisfied. Now come to the situation number three. One basic condition is satisfying and none of the additional condition is satisfied. One basic condition is satisfied and none of the basic condition is satisfied. None of the additional condition is satisfied. So what will be the answer in this case? So one basic condition means definitely he will be resident. Since in this case additional condition is not getting satisfied, he will be resident but not ordinary. Okay. In India. Last situation is very easy. None of the basic condition is also not satisfied. So obviously answer will be one only. He will be non-resident in India. Even basic condition is not satisfied. He will be non-resident in India. Okay, so these four situations can arise in your illustration or in a practical situation. So accordingly, you will have to give your answer. One basic condition, one additional condition, resident but not ordinary resident. One basic condition, both additional condition, resident and ordinarily resident in India. Okay. One basic condition and none of the additional condition, resident but not ordinarily resident in India. And none of the basic condition, non-resident in India. So these four situations can come, and accordingly you can give the answer based on this table. Okay. Okay, so after completion of discussion on residential status, now we will start with the scope of total income topic. Scope of total income. So now first let us understand what is the total income and scope of total income. So till now you should have become very comfortable that to calculate taxable income of any person, to calculate the taxable income of any person, we should know four things. Then only we can calculate the total income of that person, taxable income of that person. First is that you should know the residential status of that person. Second, you should know where the income is earned or received, whether it is received in India or it is received outside India. Third, you should know when the income is received, whether it is received in the previous year or not, that you should know properly. And whether that income is an exempt income or not, that you should understand properly. Okay, exempt income are those income on which tax is not payable. So if you are receiving an income and it is covered in exemption list given under section 10 of Income Tax Act. So if you will see the section 10, you will get the list of exempt income. Exempt income are those income on which you need not pay tax. SSC need not pay tax on such income. Such income are known as exempt income. Okay. So if you will know these four things properly, we can calculate the taxable income of a person. Okay, taxable income means income on which you have to pay income tax. So it is based on four parameters. First is the residential status. Second is where the income is earned in India or outside India, received in India or outside India. Third, when income is earned or received, that is in previous year, that you have to check. And whether that income is an exempt income or not. If that is an exempt income, we will not include in the taxable income because you need not pay tax on that income. So understanding this exempt income list is also very important from a practical situation point of view. So if you will understand all these things along with the deduction of income, then we can calculate the taxable income of the person very comfortably. Okay. So now we have, that's why we have first to discuss the residential status topic first. Okay, because total income of a person will depend upon his residential status also. whether he is a resident in India or non-resident in India. Based on that income, taxable income will change, okay, accordingly. Then if income is received in India or outside India, that also we have to understand. Okay. Then when the income is received, whether it is received in previous year, that we have to understand. Then we have to understand whether that income is an exempt income or not. Okay, exempt income are those income on which individual person need not pay tax. Such income are known as exempt income and which is covered in section 10 of Income Tax Act. So if you will read Income Tax Act and see the section 10, there is a list of exempt income given. Okay, which is a very elaborative list of exempt income is given in section 10 of Income Tax Act. Means on those income you need not pay tax. If you are receiving such income, it is, you can say, benefited from tax liability. You need not pay tax. Okay, but for as far as our syllabus is concerned, we are not having this exempt list. So no need of reading this exempt list, etc. Okay, only some repeated exempt income will come in examination that we will discuss. So entire section 10 is not applicable from our syllabus point of view. Okay, because section 10, if you will read, it is a very elaborate list. It covers many incomes which are exempt from tax. Okay, like agriculture income, for example, it is an exempt from tax, income tax. Like that, profit received by a partner, that is an exempt income. On that, no need of paying tax, etc. So all these are exempt income, you can say. So that whatever is required for our syllabus, that we will be discussing. A complete list we will not be discussing. So only thing you have to understand that if an income is an exempt income, we will not add it in the taxable income. Why? Because on that we need not pay tax. No? So understanding exempt income list from practical point of view is very important. Okay, suppose if you are giving advice or consultancy on tax to some person, for that you should have a detailed knowledge of that. Okay, but from academics point of view, we will be dealing only with what is relevant for the examination purpose. Okay, so always remember, calculating the taxable income of a person is based on four things. That is, it is based on the residential status of that person, where the income is received or earned, whether it is received or earned in India, when it is received, that is very important, and whether that income is an exempt income or not. You should know that. Then we can easily calculate the taxable income. Along with that, you should also know the deductions applicable. That we will discuss at a later stage. What are deductions, etc. So by knowing all these things, we can calculate the total income, or you can say taxable income of an individual, a person, on which he has to pay the tax. Okay. So, so this, so let us discuss this PPT slide. See, this what this say. The total income of an SSC cannot be determined unless we know the residential status of that person in India during the previous year. So residential status is a very important thing before calculating the total income of any person. Okay. You can say that scope of total income is defined on residential status. Okay, so if you will understand from an individual point of view, it can be of three residential status situation can arise: a resident, ordinarily resident, resident not ordinarily resident, and non-resident. So these three situations can arise in case of an individual: ordinary, not ordinary, or non-resident. So depending upon this residential status, we will have to determine the total income of the individual accordingly. So if he is an ordinary resident, what will be his total income? If that individual is a not ordinary resident, what will be his total income? Okay, if he is a non-resident, what will be his total income? Okay, based on this residential status, total income will be depending upon the residential status of that individual. Okay, the scope of total income and consequently the liability of income tax. Okay, if after determining the total income only we can calculate the income tax. No? So total income calculation and the income tax liability will be depending upon the four things which we have discussed. That is residential status of that a person, place of receipt of that income, whether it is India or outside India, time of receipt or earning of income, that is previous year, and exempt income list along with the deduction, we can calculate the total income of the person. Okay. As far as our scope of study is concerned, only individual's total income we will have to calculate. Other person's calculation is not in the scope of our study. So just we will have a discussion on how question may come in examination. See what will be given to you. There will be given a case to you that determine the total income of the individual if he is a non-resident, if he is an ordinary resident, or he is a not ordinary resident. So all these three cases mutually exclusive. Okay, so what you have to do, this situation will be given to you and list of income will be given. So in this slide you can see the list of income given earned during the previous year from different sources. Okay, so what is required, we have to tell if that individual is a ordinarily resident in India during previous year, what will be his total income? If that individual is a not ordinarily resident in India, what would be his total income? If that individual is a non-resident in India during previous year, what will be his total income? So this much only we have to calculate in the scope of total income topic. Okay. So three situations will be there. You have to assume each as independent. So if the individual is an ordinary resident, what will be his total income? If he is a not ordinarily resident, what will be his total income? If he is a non-resident, what will be his total income? Okay, so based on these three different situations, you have to calculate the total income of that individual. Okay, how to calculate, what are the rules for calculating, etc. That all we will continue in the next class. So for today, we will be stopping here only. Assuming everybody is comfortable with whatever we have discussed for today.